Over the coming days, I'm going to be releasing further ideas on blank canvas. So first of all, we have animated notes in blank canvas. So we have the main notes application that looks rather similar to this one. There'll be a whole screen where you apply your notes and you organize them into books and categories. But also you can embed them into 3D graphical environments. So what do we mean by animated notes? Well, that will be notes that are connected to one another. And you can also attach these notes onto a spreadsheet, for example. So a cell, a row, a column, a header, cell, or any type of cell. And you can sequence them. This animated notes are sequenced notes, where if you click at any point in that sequence and you see the note, you're allowed to see the note. So for example, if I have connected 3 notes together, what you can do is look at the first note, or sorry, even the third note. You can just accidentally click on one and say, give me that third note. And there'll be a button on that note that says go to the beginning, and it will start at the beginning note and flow on through. And these notes can themselves have 3D graphics, video, images, and text. It will even have a separate pane on the right hand side, so a whole section on the right hand side that allows you to open up more information about the notes. So you can have these notes as a quick summary, and then you can have more information, and it opens up a notes environment like this where you can look at the full notes. Synthesizer, instruments, and vocal tuning interface can be shared over the network. So what I'm planning on doing is, and I can possibly show you this one real quick, I'm planning to allow my application obviously to run on any device. But what's really great is having the ability, for example, to, if I open recent, if you have this, what you can do is you can actually, through a web browser, access instruments and synthesizers that connect to the main node. And you can strum the strings or press the keys, or what's known here is vocal tuning interface, where you go da da da, and that will either be dum dum dee on, you know, a guitar. You know, when you're strumming a guitar, it will sound like that. And when you want to press those keys, dum dum dum, that audio tuning, you can, down here, if you have a look, we've got the button that says start vocal tuning, and down here, start vocal tuning, it will record your voice and then it will turn it into however you want to play it on that particular device. And also we can have synthesizers, for example, where you touch the screen and so forth, and it allows you to make some really cool effects. And your synthesizers can apply effects to audio recordings and so forth, and it links up to blank canvas. It sends the recording or the information to blank canvas, which is, if we pull it back up, it will then shared over the network. So this could be a mobile device, this could be a tablet device, and you can strum the strings, play the keys, use your voice as well. If you don't know how to play an instrument, then it's best to actually, you know, just dabble away with it on a mobile device, or sorry, record your audio, record your voice, dum dum dum, and it will get the tones, the notes, the length of the notes, and then apply it as best as it can to that particular instrument that you have open in your environments. Artboards can be embedded inside of Artboards. So we've seen how you can have a separate document, but what if you had 2 artboards and you can embed an artboard inside of another one? You can do this now, whether it be video, 3D, audio, doesn't matter what that artboard has on it. You can take everything that's on that artboard, embed it into an asset, into another artboard, and you can also have live previews as well. So as people are editing potentially that artboard, you will get your assets updated. Git syncing between contributors, so we're going to hook up blank canvas to Git, making this a way more pleasurable experience for project managers, where you can have different graphic designers working in the space, but you can have different contributors contributing to the repo. And also what's going to happen there is something called preview sync. So as a Git developer, I know that there potentially could be conflicts. So you're going to be able to preview, if there is a conflict and you merge, you're able to preview that change and that change, that change and that change, that change and that change. And you'll be able to iterate through each conflict, and you'll be able to visually see on the artboard each conflict and which version of that artboard or that particular asset you are going to allow. Git allows for branches for single artboards. So I'm going to be able to allow you to take an artboard and put it onto a separate branch, or a set of artboards, so a single artboard on its own, or a separate artboard, or even the entire document. I'm going to allow you to branch off and pull back in and then work out your conflicts. And also what it does is it pulls in the main branch. So you branched off, okay? You've created a copy of a set of artboards. You start doing your modifications. You will have to create a pull request to merge back in with the master branch. So you're saying, I want to merge, but before that, it's going to merge the master branch back to you. So you're not affecting the master branch. So if you think about it, you have something on the lines of this, where if I can get the tools to do this, you can, with the pen tool, you can have a, let's make this a little bit thicker so that we can see it. Okay, so I'm going to try and draw a straight line. Okay, so now let's say that at this point, let's say this is a commit. I branch off into my own branch and I start making modifications. I'm happy with my modifications now. Now people can still be editing this branch, and what happens is when you say, right, I'm ready to merge back in, it will branch off back to this. You'll resolve all of the conflicts at this point. Once the conflicts have been resolved, you can then merge back in to the master branch and carry on. And you can carry on branching out from there and branching back and branching out and branching back. Next up, let's take a look at the next one. And oh yeah, with the pull request, you can assign a project manager, and the project manager has to sign off on that. That's all GitHub and their features. Workflows on artboards can be worked on in different branches. Moving forward, I think that I've already done that one. Layers can isolate a few layers. So you can see here the layers panel is very large, but sometimes you might just want to isolate certain things. So you can hide all of these layers above. So imagine if I can hide that, and I can just focus on this group and just focus on that particular thing that I really, really want. Quick searching is like Spotlight for your canvas. This will make it easier for touch interfaces. Using the layers palette is nice, but it's not very intuitive. So I'd like you to, let's say, Alt spacebar, or somehow click a button on mobile, for example, that allows you to quickly search for assets within the artboard. It allows you to search for artboards and search within the artboards. And potentially, if it has to, search metadata of images, if you can't quite remember the name, you can look for the metadata of the image, like mountains and so forth, and it will find that asset for you very quickly and efficiently without having to scan through everything. Obviously, you can gain access to what it is just by tapping or clicking on the asset, but I think that the Spotlight feature will really help increase usability. Streamed asset class, for example, a video stream. So think about it like you've got a video editor, okay? And you have an assets panel where you hold all your videos and all of your audio. Now imagine if that assets panel could literally have live assets. So if someone has a camera, for example, you can give them feedback, you can do all the rest of it with notes and so forth, pass back live notes. So let's add that in there. Passing notes or messages back and forth if you can to the user, including sending to the user's phone. So here we go. We have a cameraman in the field. He has a DSLR camera and is also carrying his mobile phone. Now, Blank Canvas is aware of his mobile phone, and Blank Canvas is aware of the camera. And I'm the editor, sat 200 miles away in a little tiny room, and I need to coordinate this project. So the best way that I can coordinate the project is by being able to tell him when he's live streaming, oh, get that, pan for that, do that. So it allows you to collaborate with the cameraman. But also on top of that, it's live streaming the footage from the DSLR back into that asset. So you can now drag and drop that live asset directly into the timeline and have it live streamed. And you can take snippets and so forth and just have it out there. That's a real live and intuitive interface. And also, don't forget, it could be the user's phone that's taking the whatever it is. If it's a drone, if it's a phone, but if it's a phone or a tablet in particular they're taking footage off, then they can use the camera, and I can use the Blank Canvas system to send messages to them from the editor of the video project. So I can say, pan over the other way, go up, go down. Oh, I like those trees. Focusing on those, get me some more shots of those. So it allows me to take advantage of the environment that they're in. Maybe they've traveled and it's very expensive, and you're giving them guidance on what you'd like to see as a director for them to capture. It's a whole new way of collaboration. Also, you can embed audio projects. So we know that Blank Canvas allows you audio projects where you create and edit, and you also can use instruments on touch devices and so forth. And what happens is that information is streamed back to a main project, and you place those recordings into a main audio. And even they can be live. So even audio assets can be live as they're being created, in other words. That could be audio from a microphone. It could be from your tablet where somebody's playing the guitar. Doesn't really matter. It all streams together. Okay, so I don't need my guitar player, my drummer, and everything else in one room. They can all be in separate rooms. They could be miles away, and this streams through the internet. Now, what's really good about this is that the embedding of the audio into a, let's say, a video project, you know, video projects have a lot of audio to them. You can embed a live audio asset. Now, you can capture it at that point and say, that's the audio that I want, or you can leave it live. So what that means is every time someone edits the audio, it updates the audio in the video without you having to do anything. So live assets will really add to it. Now, I know that I'm being clear, but there will be videos coming soon that will explain more about the interface and how these things work. I just wanted to get the core of my ideas out and then go forward from there. So we've got a basic summary of some new ideas, and now it's time to unleash more information about them.